My name's Brent from Encipher. Today we're going to be talking about bulletproof lead tracking for your moving company, bridging the gap between your CRM and getting true, accurate marketing attribution. And we're going to try to be answering one of the main questions that we try to solve for moving companies and help them figure out is, where did this lead actually come from? Did it come from a Google ad? Did it come from an organic search? Did it come from ChatGPT? Where did this lead actually come from? So we're going to walk through a couple different ways to figure this out and go over how we help movers do this. We run Google ads for movers, PPC ads, some Bing and Meta as well. And we are able to show our moving clients, where did this lead come from truly, and what is the true ROI on their paid marketing, and help them figure out what is their ROI from other marketing channels that they're using that we're not necessarily managing, but we're showing them how to truly see where every lead came from to then answer the question, what is our ROI on this marketing channel? So we're going to start with talking about your CRM, okay? Specifically moving CRMs, they are amazing tools. And if you're not using one, you should definitely be using one. They are amazing to help you run your moving business, help you send out quotes, estimates, invoices, dispatching your trucks and your crew, keeping track of everything, and running your business. But what a CRM isn't necessarily built for is being a true marketing attribution tool. And there are ways to set up your CRM and configure your CRM to help you get somewhat of a picture to see where your leads are coming from, with things like UTM tracking, if you know what that is, where if somebody fills out a form on your website, you can have hidden fields that automatically track UTM sources and send that into your CRM. So you can see that it does require additional setup with some API and different configurations, but sometimes the data can be a little bit fragmented. And there is often a blind spot that we see with moving companies with their CRM and when they're looking at lead sources, is a lot of the time they're relying on the drop-down question on their form of how did you hear about us, and relying on the user to select your heard about us through a Google ad or whatever options you have on your drop-down. You're relying on the user to tell you how they found out about you, rather than truly tracking its source automatically in an undeniable way where the data itself does not lie. And there's also another blind spot, which is with call tracking. Now, a lot of moving companies do have some sort of call tracking, whether it's with CallRail or another tool, but it's kind of a standalone platform. And unless you have really advanced automation set up to send your CallRail calls, for example, into your CRM with the UTM data, it's going to be a little bit of a black hole. And something that your CRM nor CallRail has is live marketing spend to help you be able to see what is your true ROI. So some movers that we work with do use CallRail, like I said, and they can see where their calls are coming from. But for people that don't have this set up, you don't really have a way to figure out where a call came from unless you ask that user specifically. And even then, that user's not going to be sure if they clicked an ad or if they came organically. So you're relying on that user telling you how they heard about you. So your CRM can track UTMs. Lead provider integrations do exist. Referral sources can be configured, and ROI reports are available. But most of this stuff does require pretty advanced setup. Even with different reports, your lead provider reports and your UTM reports are going to be in different places. It's going to be hard to get a unified picture, and your marketing spend isn't going to be tracked automatically. So the CRM is not the problem in this case. The problem is marketing attribution, because there are so many complexities that come in with cookies and tracking these users along their journey that the CRM is not necessarily built for. So I just went over some of the workarounds and what your CRM can do. It can do this stuff, but again, most of the time, even if you are doing this stuff, the data is still fragmented. It's sometimes difficult, and it can be unclear of what your true ROI actually is from your different channels. So what is the fix? How do you actually see where your leads came from and see your ROI? You need a middle layer that is a dedicated marketing attribution platform between your ads and your different marketing channels and your CRM that truly captures every phone call and every form submission with undeniable data showing where that lead came from, with marketing spend attached to this layer automatically. So it's automatically pulling your marketing spend from different channels and telling you what your true cost per lead is, and ultimately being able to see your ROI, because this attribution layer that I'm about to show you, you can see your quote values and all of your sales values for any given lead and any given channel. And this is an important piece of it too, is the phone call. So like I said, CallRail is great for tracking phone calls, and it can track forms, but it doesn't have live marketing spend attached to it. And it's not necessarily built as a full picture marketing attribution tool to see your ROI, as it's mainly built as a call tracking platform first. So with a marketing attribution layer, like I said, you get true live spend on your channels. You get to see where all of your leads are actually coming from, calls and form submissions, and you get to see a true marketing ROI on your various channels. And the other thing that is really cool in the example I'm about to show you with the attribution platform that we use is when you're capturing leads through this tool and you're running Google ads, for example, which we do for clients, a lot of PPC companies will just have your ads optimized to just get conversions, which is when someone fills out your form or when someone calls you. But by having a dedicated layer, what you can do is you can send the data to the ad platforms and tell the ad platforms, hey, instead of just getting me more leads and more people that are calling me or filling out my form, I actually want to get more leads like John Smith, who was a great quotable lead. I just sent him a $2,200 quote for his move. He's a great move, or he's a great lead. Let's get more of those. So when you're capturing all these leads through this tool and through an attribution platform, you can pass all of this awesome data back to Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever ad platform you're using, to get more qualified leads that are good leads rather than just more leads and more volume. So let's take a quick look at the attribution platform and kind of show you exactly what it looks like. So this is one of our moving clients, and we're just going to be looking at the date range from January 1st to March 31st. So the first quarter of 2026, and this is a live dashboard of what it looks like. So we can see we've spent $80,000 on our advertising, and we have generated $560,000 in booked moves, and we have sent out $730,000 in quotes. And this is where it gets really cool. So we can see every lead here. They're just blurred out for privacy for these leads, obviously. But we can see, okay, this was a form submission, this was a call, this came from a Google paid call, this came from an organic search, and we can actually see undeniably where every lead is coming from. So in the case of this client, we're only managing their Google ads. So let's look at Google CPC, which is a lead from a Google ad. And we can very easily see, okay, our cost per lead with Google paid ads is $36, and we have generated $461,000 in sales from our Google paid ads. And you can also run other reports to see your other channels, right? Like your Google business listing, Bing, Facebook, ChatGPT, and all of this is unified in one place. So let's just look at another example here. Same thing, we're looking at the first quarter of 2026, and let's look at organic here. Okay, how much revenue did we generate from organic without spending any money on ads? Okay, we generated $32,000 in sales. Okay, what about CPC? How much did we get from our paid ads? Okay, we spent $35,000, almost $36,000 on our paid ads. We generated $161,000 in sales through our paid ads. Okay, how much of that is from Google and Facebook? Well, let's look at this report here and see. This is going to show us per channel. Okay, sales value. Okay, we closed $84,000 from Google paid or from Facebook ads, and we closed $76,000 from our Google ads. And as you can see, and as you're probably realizing, what I'm getting at is having one place to see your ROI from your different channels is very important. And then lastly, what we're doing with this, that is the most powerful part of this, is we are sending this data of these qualified leads. Let's look at just sort by quote value here. So we're taking these leads that we're actually quoting and they're good leads, and we're saying, hey, Google, hey, Facebook, get me more of these leads that I'm sending quotes to, rather than just leads that aren't going to answer or, aren't going to pick up the phone or respond to your estimate. And that can even be taken a step further, where instead of saying, hey, I would like more quotable leads, Google, we can say, hey, Google, we want more people that are going to book with us and use our actual services and become paying customers. So that's the power of using a dedicated marketing attribution tool. And that's what we do at Incipher. We run Google ads for movers, PPC, some Facebook ads, some Bing, and we help you see your true ROI by tracking all of this stuff automatically without having to jump between all of these different reports and trying to piece together different pieces of a fragmented funnel. So somewhere on this page or somewhere in the email that you would have got about this, there'll be a link to book a call if you'd like to speak with us and see how we can maybe help out your moving company with your Google ads and your paid ads and ultimately your marketing attribution. Thanks for watching.